Something incredible just happened to your Social Security benefits. A few days ago, while you were checking the news about politics and everything else, they quietly released numbers that will fundamentally change how much money hits your bank account next year. Some of you are about to get hundreds of dollars richer every single month. Others might see their increases completely wiped out by hidden costs most people never see coming. Here's what's shocking. These projections are accelerating faster than anyone predicted. No major announcements, no press conferences about the real implications, just silent economic shifts that are already reshaping millions of people's monthly checks, and most beneficiaries have absolutely no idea what's actually happening behind the scenes. Drop your current monthly benefit amount in the comments below. What I'm about to reveal affects different benefit levels in completely different ways, and I need to know who's listening. You probably caught glimpses of the headlines: inflation reports, COLA projections, economic indicators. But what the headlines don't tell you is that while one economic force is pushing your benefits higher, another is quietly preparing to take most of it back. And if you don't understand both sides of this equation, you could be celebrating a raise that never actually reaches your bank account. So what actually happened this week? The story starts with what looked like routine inflation data. The June numbers came out showing inflation ticking up 0.4% month over month, with year over year sitting at 2.6%. Standard economic reporting, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Hidden within those numbers were signals of something much bigger happening. The cpi-w, that's the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, the specific metric that determines your Social Security cost of living adjustment, is showing early evidence of significant price increases, especially on goods imported from overseas. These aren't random price fluctuations. These are systematic increases due to new tariff policies that are just starting to hit the economy. And we've just entered the 3 most crucial months for determining next year's COLA: July, August, and September. Here's where the plot thickens. While everyone was focused on political news, Social Security's COLA projection quietly jumped from 2.5% to 2.8% in just 1 month. That might not sound dramatic, but this is only the beginning. If these price increases continue, and based on what we're seeing with tariff implementation, they almost certainly will, we could be looking at something closer to 3.5% or even higher by the time the final numbers are calculated in September. Let me break down what that actually means for your wallet, because this is where it gets real. If you're getting $600 a month, a 2.8% increase means about $17 extra. $700 a month gets you $20 more. $800 equals $22 extra. $900 equals $25 more. $1,000 equals $28 additional. And if you're at the average of $2,000 a month, you're looking at about $56 more per month. But here's what they're not highlighting in those cheerful projections. The biggest surprise isn't the COLA increase. The biggest surprise is what's happening simultaneously with Medicare Part B premiums that most people aren't even tracking. Right now, you're paying around $185 per month for Medicare Part B. But that's about to jump by another $21.50. Some projections suggest it could be even higher. Let me repeat that. While your Social Security check might increase by $56, your Medicare premium is increasing by $21.50 or more. That means your actual net gain could be as little as $35, assuming no other increases. For many beneficiaries, especially those with smaller monthly checks, the Medicare increase could completely wipe out their COLA raise. You'll get the exciting announcement about your benefit increase, then watch it disappear when Medicare takes their bigger cut. But that's not even the complete picture. Here's what nobody wants to address while politicians celebrate COLA increases and economic improvements. Every single year, this same pattern repeats. Social Security announces a cost of living adjustment, Medicare premiums increase, and beneficiaries end up with minimal real improvement. The Medicare increase isn't coincidental. It's systematic. Healthcare costs are rising faster than general inflation, which means the cpi-w that determines your COLA doesn't fully capture the actual cost increases hitting Social Security beneficiaries hardest. Think about that. The metric used to protect your purchasing power doesn't even measure the largest expense category for most retirees, healthcare. So, while inflation on general goods and services drives your COLA up by 2.8%, healthcare inflation is driving your Medicare premiums up by potentially 11% or more. The math doesn't work in your favor. But there's still one more piece to this puzzle that affects what's coming next. The price increases we're seeing aren't temporary economic fluctuations. They're the result of systematic trade policy changes that are just beginning to work through the economy. Tariffs on goods from China and other countries are creating permanent cost increases that will compound month after month. This means the 2.8% COLA projection we're seeing now could easily become 3.5% or 4% by September. That sounds like good news until you realize that these same factors driving up your COLA are also driving up healthcare costs, housing costs, and every other expense category that disproportionately affects Social Security beneficiaries. So, after all these economic forces, what's the actual impact on your monthly purchasing power? If you're getting the average $2,000 monthly benefit, you might see a $56 COLA increase, but lose $21.50 to Medicare premiums, leaving you with about $35 extra per month. But that $35 has to cover increased costs for food, housing, transportation, and healthcare that are all rising faster than the general inflation rate. If you're getting $1,000 monthly, your $28 COLA increase could be completely offset by the Medicare premium increase alone, leaving you functionally worse off than before. If you're getting smaller amounts, you could actually lose purchasing power even with a COLA increase, because fixed cost increases like Medicare hit smaller beneficiaries disproportionately hard. The brutal reality is that for most beneficiaries, even a 3.5% COLA increase won't keep pace with the actual cost increases they're experiencing. First, get ahead of the Medicare premium increases now. If you haven't had your Medicare plan reviewed recently, do it immediately. Call the number in the description for a free review. Don't wait until open enrollment when you're competing with millions of other people for attention. Second, start planning your budget now based on minimal real improvement from the COLA increase. Don't count on that extra $56 or $28 solving your financial challenges, because most of it may disappear to increased costs. Third, if you're eligible for any supplemental programs like SNAP, energy assistance, or state pharmaceutical programs, apply now before the COLA increase potentially pushes your income just over the qualification thresholds. Fourth, consider the Medicare timing carefully. The final COLA announcement comes in October. Medicare premium announcements typically follow shortly after. That's when you'll know the real net impact. These COLA projections represent the most significant potential increase in Social Security benefits in recent years. Some changes genuinely help specific groups, but the larger pattern remains unchanged. Cost increases for seniors are outpacing the adjustments designed to protect them. Your financial security in the next year will depend more on understanding these offsetting factors than on hoping the COLA increase solves your budget challenges. Drop a comment below with your state and current monthly benefit amount and tell me which of these factors affects you most. Are you concerned about Medicare premium increases, excited about potential COLA increases, struggling with rising costs that aren't captured in inflation calculations? Hit that subscribe button because Social Security and Medicare changes are accelerating, and staying informed isn't optional anymore. The economic landscape is shifting faster than ever, and knowledge is your only protection against being caught off guard by the next round of good news that might not be as good as it sounds.